back, everyone. Yeah, sorry about that. Welcome back. Alright, so we're moving to chapter 2. Sorry, I left this chapter 1.1 behind. I actually didn't leave it behind. I explained it already with the chapter 1. So now I'm moving to chapter 2. Chapter 2 is about do not sweat the small stuff. So, we have all heard that we shouldn't sweat the small stuff. So, letting oneself get stressed out over the little things in life is one of the biggest ways to bring unnecessary grief into life's path. We can avoid a lot of negative feelings. Yes, we can avoid a whole lot of negative feelings and even health problems simply by learning not to let the little things get to us. Moving to the next slide. Yeah, so this is how to avoid negative feelings. The first point is to focus on the big future. Picture. Focus on the big picture. When something small happens that makes you want to rage, that makes you want to be angry or be annoyed or just scatter the whole place, just be aggressive. Just compare that moment's significance to everything else going on in your life. Is it worth it? And in the world around you, is it worth it? You may have spilled your cake. You may have spilled your cake batter on the floor an hour before your guests are due to arrive. Alright, so sorry, what this means, let me explain a little. What this means is that you might have been you might have been too angry, or you might have been too, you might have acted too bad before you realize that these things are not even worth it to be angry about. And during your action, you might have offended plenty of people. Right, so let me continue. Are your friends still going to love you and enjoy the evening, even if you don't have a freshly baked cake for them? So it means are your friends still going to accept you and understand that you were just being that it was just a time of your anger? So if so, maybe you should put your energy somewhere other than berating yourself for these small mistakes. So people around you might not understand why you just throw out the anger like that, and they might feel offended. So please, channel your energy into something else. So the next point is, remember that we all make mistakes. When something small threatens to destroy your attitude and positive outlook, think about the fact that everyone makes mistakes, whether it is yourself or someone else who caused the situation that feels like a train wreck. Keep in mind that mistakes are a normal part of life that happens to everyone. Do not let one bad moment take you by surprises. I think this is explanatory enough. So let's move to the next point. Forgive others. Yes, learn to forgive others. It can be hard to forgive someone else when it feels like they have brought you extra work and stress. When someone rear-ends your vehicle, you may be tempted to lash out at them very verbally. However, stop and think about how it may feel to be in their situation. Don't act and feel as though you have never made a mistake, but choose empathy. Yes, choose to forgive others. Forgive yourself. Yes, that's the next point, and a very important point. You have to forgive yourself. Forgiving others can be a simple matter in comparison to forgiving yourself. There are many moments that we treat ourselves worse than we would ever allow a friend to treat us. When you are having a difficult time forgiving yourself, think of how you would undo a similar mistake made by a good friend. Stop and think before bullying yourself. and consider seeking professional help if you can't stop a cascade of negative thoughts every time you fall short of perfection. All right, so the next point is ask yourself if it will matter in next 10 years. Yes, we all have problems, and generally at the time any problem seems big. At that period of time that the problem is happening, it will seem really, really big. So perception is not always the truth though, and it is up to us to put our situation into perspective so that we can properly deal with whatever comes our way. When something negative happens in your life, ask yourself if it will matter in 10 years. If it won't, let it go. If someone gives you the middle finger in traffic, you may be tempted to lose your cool. Middle finger, like the Americans are used to, like fucking kind of thing. Sorry, it's a bad language, but some people might not understand the middle finger, so I have to explain. Alright, so when some when something negative happens in your life, ask yourself if it will matter in 10 years. If it won't, then let it go. If someone gives you a middle finger in the traffic, you may be tempted to lose your cool, and it's simply not worth it. Save your emotions for the things that are life-changing and deserve your full attention. When something goes wrong, you have two choices. You can spill into a rage or let it go. So, making the choice not to sweat small stuff will bring your life-changing happiness, and you'll be thankful for your own shift in perspective. Thank you. Moving to the next slide.